Hey guys, it's Mr. MJ Fan 101 Alt here, and I'm actually recording this before Season 1 of Wolfman Stories is completed, but this is going to be a video about why I created the Wolfman Stories, because out of all the series on my channel, it's probably the most interesting and different one, so I'm going to sort of go into why I created it, what was my inspiration, and then I'm also going to talk about the Wolfman 1, and then also I might have some behind the scenes or some bloopers of Season 1, but there wasn't much, there really weren't that many bloopers in Season 1. It wasn't that hard to shoot. Although I haven't shot the last episode yet. By the time you see this video, it'll be out, but I haven't shot the last episode yet, and I'm sure that'll definitely be hard to shoot, the way I imagine it. But anyways, first I'm gonna talk about the Wolfman 1. The Wolfman 1 was a movie I've wanted to make for a while. Now, when I was a kid, when I was like, say, I don't know, like 7 or 8, I got that wolf mask. It's actually over there. I'm looking at it right now in real life. I got that wolf mask from a zoo. Like, I was at a zoo, and I saw the wolf mask, and instantly the idea of the Wolfman spurred in my head. I'm like, you know what? That'd be an interesting horror movie mask. So I'm like, Mom, please give me this mask. I need it. So she got me the mask, even though it was like $5. And I made the Wolfman 1. The Wolfman 1, the original Wolfman 1, which I made 2009 or 2010, was 21 minutes long. The unfortunate thing is I don't think I have it anymore, but I'm going to check my external hard drive where we basically stored all my movies and all of everybody in my house's like extra files that they don't really need on the computer but what they want to keep stored. So I'm going to go through my movies on there and see if I can find the original Wolfman 1. If I do, I'll probably upload it. I really hope I can find it. I don't know if I'll be able to, but if I can, it'll be awesome because I really want to upload that to show you what the original crappy version was like. Except the ending was kind of cool. But in 2012, I decided, you know what, I want to make the Wolfman with my new. I'm better at filming now, so I want to make the Wolfman 1 the way I imagined it. So then I made the Wolfman 1, and I loved it, and a lot of people liked it. And it was really what I wanted to make, and I'm glad I made it. And then after I made it, I'm like, you know what, this is really well received. I already had ideas floating in my head for Wolfman 2. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to make Wolfman 2. So in July, I only got to shoot some screen tests for Wolfman 2. I never got to shoot it. But after doing that, I came up with the idea in my head. You know what? Actually it was in June when I did the screen tests. I'm screwing up my timeline. I believe it was in June, like late June, early July. I decided, you know what? Screw Wolfman 2 for now. Don't think me saying that says I'm never going to make Wolfman 2, because I still want to make Wolfman 2, but with this new Wolfman Stories series, I don't know if I will, but I still really, really want to make it, because I had some really good ideas for it. So, Wolfman 2, don't think I'm never going to make it, because I'm still going to try to make it eventually. But it won't be for a long time. Probably it won't be until like a year after the Wolfman 1 has been out, and that'll be April of 2013, so. Yeah, Wolfman 2, I'm gonna eventually get to it, but it's gonna be a long time. So anyways, the Wolfman Stories, the reason, or the place I got inspired for the Wolfman Stories was, you can look up Blame Truth Project on YouTube, his recordings series. I really loved that series, and I wish he would freaking release Season 2 already. I really hope he's working on Season 2, because he ends Season 1 on such a complete cliffhanger, and it's like, come on, I want to see Season 2 already. But that's where I got my main inspiration. But then I realized that he got inspired by something to make recordings. So I looked into it, and I realized it was Marble Hornets. So I like to say recordings and Marble Hornets are definitely my main inspirations for this, because I checked out Marble Hornets. I love Marble Hornets. It is amazing. It is a great series. Blame Truth's recordings is great too. The only reason I like Marble Hornets better at the moment is because there's like 2.5 seasons out so far. So, I say 2.5 because the third season's not done yet. I'm still waiting for him to upload Recording 61. I can't wait for Recording 61 whenever it comes out. I'm Recording 61, Entry 61. Getting the series mixed up here, but I like to credit Recordings and Marble Hornets both as my main inspirations for the Wolfman Stories. So if you want to see my inspiration for the Wolfman Stories, go look up Blame Truth Project or look up Recordings Episode 1 or something like that on YouTube. To find recordings, or maybe I can put some links in the descriptions, and look up Marble Hornets on YouTube, and that's where you'll find Marble Hornets. Also, Marble Hornets actually dang it, I can't talk. Marble Hornets inspired the game Slender, or Marble Hornets at least inspired some of the game Slender. Like the guy who made it, you could tell that he got inspiration from a lot of different places, but it seemed like the main inspiration he got was from Marble Hornets. But he got inspiration from other Slenderman. I'm just gonna say Mythos as well. So the Slender game also is an inspiration to me because you see in episode 5 of Wolfman Stories, spoiler alert, you see in episode 5 of the Wolfman Stories and 6, I have those pages with writing on it. That's I got inspired by that from the game Slender. And in Slender, inspired the pages from Marble Hornets, because in Marble Hornets, Alex writes like all these illustrations on pages, and the main basis of Slender is you're trying to find those pages. So I like to credit that sort of idea, the inspiration from that, easily Slender and Marble Hornets. Except people obviously are going to call it a direct rip-off, but if you think about it, in Marble Hornets, the pages, it's just part of one of the episodes. In the actual series Marble Hornets, they never really, from what I remember, they really don't really do anything with the pages. It's just a showing of Alex's insanity. In the Slender game, there's no backstory given to why you're collecting the pages, and all they are is illustrations of Slenderman. Whereas in my series, the pages actually mean something, which is why, I can still call the pages idea partly my own idea. It's definitely not I got it from Marble Hornets, but it's still partly my own idea because their pages are just random illustrations of what's happened, where mine actually give me instructions. Like in episode 5, go to the cemetery at midnight. So that's where the whole pages idea came from. And yeah, that's basically where the inspiration for the Wolfman Stories came from, Marble Hornets and recordings. And I'm going to try to do Wolfman Stories every single month. I'm going to call 1 month a season, so season 1's ending pretty soon, which is the month of July. Because everything except for the last episode in season 1 was recorded in July, so... even though the episodes are being released in August, I still count, or the second half of the episodes being released in August, I still count it as season 1. And if you're wondering when season 2 will start, season 2 will start, holy crap, season 2 is going to start on the 7th. And season 2 is going to take even more inspiration from Marble Hornets. Like, if you've seen Marble Hornets, you'll know where I got one of the ideas in season 2 from. So keep an eye out for season 2 of the Wolfman Stories. It's planned to have about 8 to 9 episodes so far. But yeah, I decided Wolfman Stories was the best direction to take Wolfman for now. Because I really wanted to come back to Wolfman. I love the Wolfman 1. A lot of my friends, family loved it. So I really wanted to come back to it. But Wolfman 1, although it was horror, deep down, there was some comedic elements to it as well. Like, it wasn't completely serious. There was definitely some comedic parts. But it was sort of a mix. It would be scary at one point, and then it'd be comedic, so. And then the Wolfman Stories, I decided to do something different. And the idea was to try to make it more realistic, like Marble Hornets and recordings. So that's where the whole, that's why I decided to go with Wolfman Stories. That's why I decided to go through with the idea, because I thought, okay, we saw what the horror/comedy Wolfman 1 was. Let's see Wolfman actually serious and realistic. And that's why I created the Wolfman Stories, and I'm loving the Wolfman Stories so far. It's actually super fun to shoot. Also, I can give way more Wolfman content. Like when the Wolfman won, since it was a movie, it's only 10 minutes, where I really spent like at least like hour to 4 hours filming. I spent 4 to 7 hours of work editing, filming, all that. Wolfman 1, probably 10 hours of work. Whereas, and you only get a 10-minute product. Whereas with the Wolfman Stories, Season 1, I haven't shot Episode 6 or uploaded it yet, but Season 1 ends up rounding out at around 20 plus minutes long. And that's just Season 1. Season 2 is probably going to end up being even longer. So, there you go. That's what I like about the Wolfman Stories. I can release more Wolfman content. And I love the character of the Wolfman. I love the characters, the story, all that. So there you go. There's my inspirations for the Wolfman and all that. So now you know. Now you know how Wolfman Stories got created. Now you know how Wolfman in general got created. So this is kind of a documentary, kind of. So there you go. Next video will hopefully be like maybe a blooper reel, maybe some deleted scenes, or even, I don't even think I had any deleted scenes, but maybe something like some sort of behind the scenes in the Wolfman one. I actually do have a deleted scene. Actually, I could probably upload that. There's actually a deleted scene where it was similar to recordings where Blame Truth had the cameras hidden in his house, and then I thought to myself, you know what, that's just completely, it's not like the Marble Hornets Pages idea where I add my own thing to it. That's just a complete blatant rip-off, plus I didn't think it made sense for the Wolfman character. It doesn't make sense for the Wolfman character. He's like, the Wolfman is smart, but he's not smart enough to do something like that. He's not that smart. He also doesn't have those big of resources. So that's why I decided not to go through with that idea. So maybe I'll upload some of that. But there you go. Next, if I have any bloopers, that'll be the next video. It'll be bloopers for Season 1 or deleted scenes, something like that. And then after that, hopefully we can get Season 2 launched. Season 2 Wolfman Stories, it's going to be even more ambitious than Season 1, because Season 1 sets the whole thing up. Now you get Season 2, which already has everything set up. So it's going to be more sort of action-packed than Season 1. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.